Hey.
Domino. So right now, oh wow, now I can see you guys. I was about to say all I have is a black screen. Hey everybody, welcome to my crappy computer and internet. This is the Humpty Dump edition of the Dump. It is Wednesday night, and we're going to be talking some fandom stuff. But first, I want to introduce our guest, and it is author. Oh, well, first off, let's bring Fat Steven Seagal into here. It is author Kai. Now, Kai, what do you go as? You go as the initials, or is it just like?
I kind of just want people to call me Kai. Like,
okay, I get that.
Most authors have the first name, last name, and then letters in the middle, or letters and then the name. But I didn't want people calling me Mr. Something. You know, I'm Kai. And then the M.F.S. makes it really awkward to say my name as a complete thing.
Can I get a mic check? A little bit. Can I get a mic check quickly?
Yeah, we can
hear you.
Okay.
No,
Scott. Hey, Scott, bite me.
Yes. Yeah, no, shut up. Yeah, you're louder now. Thank God you're loud. Oh, Jesus. But we have the author Kai here with his new series, Space Crime, and the first book is Domino. And I've been able to read the prologue and the first chapter. I'm ordering the book hopefully tomorrow, no later than Friday. I know Culture has ordered it or has it and has been reviewing it. But Kai, welcome to the show and give us a little intro on your book.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, man. It was great meeting you the other day on Latino Science Show, and I've been looking forward to this. So I was here early and everything, unlike the show regulars.
You were on time, brother. You were way on time. You were here probably before me.
But so my book is about. It starts off with an alien from outside the universe arriving here on Earth and changing things up a little bit. The story follows a pirate crew on a rescue mission and the government strike team that's hunting them down across the colonies. So
right there. You should want to read it just for that description, people. Culture, you've been reading it. Tell me a little bit. How are you enjoying it?
Oh, I've read it once. I've actually just almost done with my second read through. I've been writing my review as I go through the second time, and like I told Kai, I mean, I've been enjoying it from beginning to end, and now through my second time, it's good. I know that Kai has a future plan for characters in this series. I'm excited to see it. I don't know. It's kind of like a pirate ship kind of an idea. I mean, it's really cool. I don't want to give it away. Let me put it this way. From the moment you start reading it, it is almost nonstop. Like, you get character development that's like at a breakneck pace, but it's great. You see character growth right from the beginning. There's no Mary Sue, Gary Stu, or any of that. It's kind of fun. Everybody comes by what they're doing pretty seemingly naturally. And like I said, I mean, there's interactions between Farouk and Agent Jones that are kind of are interesting. And but again, I'm not going to give it away. Like I said, essentially it's two crews making their way through space, like Kai was describing. So I can't give it away. It's good. It's a good book. And when I get my review out, I'm actually going to make the video and I'm going to pass it off to Kai to put on his channel because I'm not going to run it on mine. So I guess I can run it on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, just run it on both.
Why not run it on yours, man? Just so you know, I'm planning on making a playlist of all the videos that you guys make about the book. So it's going to be on my channel implicitly, Even if it's on yours, it'll be in my playlist. And Mad Markin's unboxing and
I know, I saw that.
Video, Lorena's video Friday, Loki's morning stream, they're all going to be in a playlist.
That's awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
I mean,
lunch.
The truth of the matter is, Kai, how many subs do you have, Kai?
140 something. Let me check.
Right. So it helps him to have it on your channel, Culture. That's the smart thing to do to help him reach a larger audience, and that's why I'm glad people are having him on, because I've watched Kai's game nights, I've watched some of his stuff. I enjoy I enjoy your channel, and more people should be subscribing. So, guys, make sure you follow the link. Someone will drop your link, hopefully, in the chat. We'll also the link to your website where it tells where Kai's going to be, what shows he's on, how to order the book. All that good stuff is in the description for this video. So please, guys, make sure you subscribe. And if you like anything fandom, which we all do, check out his book. We need to support people that are, even if you don't represent the hashtag the Fandom Menace, people in our spectrum that enjoy fantasy and sci-fi, people that respect debate about fantasy and sci-fi. That's what we want to support, and Kai is one of those people.
Thank you very much, man. Thanks for. I didn't know how much you tuned into my channel and whatnot, but I really appreciate
I check it out. I can't always. If I start, this is going to sound so arrogant, and I don't mean it that way. But if I don't have time, I listen. And if I start writing in the chat, people respond. And I hate not responding back to people. So sometimes I just go in and listen, and I don't write in the chat. But I do. I check out everybody's stuff.
I hear you there, man. Because like, I think it's something that came with the sense of community. Like when I first jumped into these chats and stuff, like I didn't talk. I would just watch the chat scroll by. Like, how are these people discerning? They have like different conversations going on here.
Yes.
And I was watching all that going on, and people would say hi to each other and stuff. And when I first said anything in the chat, no one cared. No one at all. But then the more I got to know people, the more that tends to happen is you say, hey, and then Memes of Destruction shouts you out directly. He says, hey, Kai. And then Culture Casino says, hey, Kai, and Macany90. And then I feel like I got to say hi to each of them individually. And then the time prompter starts asking me questions. And I like, now I'm talking
after a while, and you're like, oh, God. So I always like everybody's videos. I always like their tweets. I always make sure I watch people's videos, even if I'm watching late streams on replay. I always check out Culture's stuff because Culture is probably by far one of the better fourth waivers when it comes to interviewing and doing live streams. I'm really enjoying his stuff. Steven is just, I guess, Steven. Steven Seagal is growing, right, my man? He is growing into his own. How are you tonight? I didn't even introduce you. I'm sorry. Fat Steven Seagal, who are you beating up right now? Beating up J.J. Abrams. What's up, brother?
I'm getting a little like, hold on a second. Hi, how is everyone? How is the chat? And again, Kai, I am currently your alter ego as a lovely hiding my identity. But right now I am cuddling Casino.
I feel
the floating
like
head.
The broomhead thing is like fetch. Like, stop saying fetch. You're never gonna get.
Yeah, it's never gonna take.
I have one request. Can Culture come back with his face on with the floating head and just do the news like from Bob's Burgers?
Now the news.
Paranormal activity.
All right. So we're going to jump back. We're going to check out the chat and see who is here with us. We have 26 people. Please, guys, make sure you hit like, share out the link because not everybody gets my notifications, even though they want them. We got one of my most devout. Is devout the right word? My most supportive. Yeah, devout sounds like I'm like some type of cult member. Tina Bojan, she is one of the best. She's in everybody's chat. She supports us all. She is a channel member here. She is one of my first channel members. So thank you for being here. And she was dropping knowledge on Mad Mardigan. So he needs that sometimes. Zachariah 315, howdy y'all. Good to see you, buddy. And speaking of the devil, there he is, the madman himself. I look funny, but yo, I'm making money. See how he did that? Humpty Dump. I like that.
I also became a member today on your channel, Scott, just so you know.
You know what? I just saw that. Okay, well, we're going to be coming to that right now. But first, we're going to speak to a first waiver. Well, not speak to him, but shout out a first waiver, a guy who needs your watch time right now. He's like around the 800 watch hours needed. So play his live streams, guys. Just hit all videos and play them all. That's what I do. It's Demogeny, the pimp daddy himself, the pimp of the Fandom Menace. He is the man, he's the myth, he's the legend, and he needs to be monetized. So, guys, please make sure after this stream, hit all to his videos and watch them because they're badass. I like when the ones where he's doing like the drives. I enjoy those. And look at this. Fat Steven Seagal beats up J.J. Abrams is now a channel member. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. I got to spend a little time with Demongenai and Fatal yesterday on his channel, and those guys are very knowledgeable. They're very nice and very welcoming. He deserves all those watch hours. I think he's about 870 away from the hours he needs done.
That sounds about right. Right. And you're right. Fatal J and Demongenai were two of the earliest guys that weren't fourth waivers that made me feel welcomed as a group. You know, like, I lucked out because I had, people like Nerdrotic were, just friendly towards me and other people that are, I guess, considered big channels. And this fandom is insane that, community is so insane where somebody that has these large channels will come on your little channel and stream. But these guys are also, the newer third wave, first or second waves that have smaller channels. These guys are killing it every day, putting video, but they still take the time to bring you on their channel and introduce you to a different group of people that might not know you. And Demongenai did that. Fatal J has done that. I mean, God, I could go on, Drunk 3PO, Mary Mayhem, just a bunch of people. And I won't start listing them because I'm that popular. It would take two.
I've been Abu Nas and Drunk 3PO both said they're both like actively looking to be on people's channels, which is awesome, man. What's funny about Demongenai is I saw him, I was like, that guy's cool. I want to subscribe to this channel. And I went to search for his name, but I didn't know how to spell it, so I couldn't find him.
Well, a lot of people do DM instead of DM. It messed me all up.
No, I figured it out. I've been subbed for a minute now. Of
course, he's definitely worth a watch. He's real. What you get that's Demongenai, and that's what I like about the Dark Council. All those guys are who they are, and I've had every single person from the Dark Council on my channel at one point, which I find to be awesome. All those guys, except for Lord Callis. Wait a minute, Lord Callis hasn't been on this channel yet. We've talked about it. I got to get him on. All right. Lord Callis, you're next. Back to Tina. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Sit back, relax, and smash that like button on the way in. Thank you. And McKinney90, I consider him the artist of the fourth wave. Please check out his Teespring, his Twitter, his YouTube channel. I got to get you back on here, McKinney. I know you love streaming with us, and we love streaming with you, brother. It's just been hectic. It'll be easier when I get back home and I have my own shitty internet. Deviant Porg in the house, or as I like to call him, Palanuki, my French brother. Thank you for all the support. He's been around since almost the very beginning. Runner Studios, a babe in the Phantom Menace, but the kid is killing it. He probably has homework, so he can't stay too long, but
somebody clip Scott calling Runner a babe.
Runner the babe. Check out his channel. Check out the Time Prophets channel, who has one of the dopest voices. That's Scottish Brag or Brog or Brog. What do you call it? Scottish Brog.
Brogue.
Wow,
I just have a great idea. Horrible. The whole Pat Steven Seagal. You know what you need to do? You need to put what's it called? Runner Studios' face on Babe the Pig, and then cut to the guy when he says, "That'll do, babe. That'll do."
I can't afford his therapy after that. I just built a computer. How much money do you think he'll fund me? Will make me set up his therapy? I can't do that. Have you heard of the gaming lounge, though?
Yeah, right. The gaming lounge. Shellback TJC is in the house. Dump on me, he asks. Okay. Adam Price, of course, is here because Adam Price represents Outside the Universe. And Sam McCabe. All right. Gotcha. My bad. I was a little lost there. I'm jumping around.
No, I understand. You're like, okay. Just move on.
You know what? It's fine. I don't know half the things people are talking about because I love my chat because they'll have their own conversations and still hang out, and I'm cool with that. Bone is in the house. The lovely Renier is in the house. Parrot Head is in the house. Oh my God, there's a lot of people that I'm trying to catch up with. Karen Prime, one of my favorite channel members. Karen Prime says, "Namaste, everyone. Is Culture a phantom head for Halloween? Culture, explain."
Yeah, I feel like a phantom head. Today on my video that I did, I was a ghost. Now I'm a floating head, and I think I'm going to throw some. I think I'm going to throw some things. Throw some things out there for Halloween. So this is just pretty straightforward, just a floating head. So we'll see what happens. I'll come up with some.
We'll get some taste in the weeks to come. You're saying?
There'll be more to come. More to come.
I like it. I like it. Sam wants everybody to know he is Team Black Licorice, and you know what, man? If it's better than candy corn. So I'm with you on that. M. Dastardly's in the house. Hail, everyone. Who else do we got? I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. There's a lot of people up in here. We got 31 people. Please make sure you hit that like button. Angelus Draven, one of my early chat brothers, is in here. Hail, my friend. How you doing? And he's on your channel sometime, isn't he? Kai?
Yeah.
Culture, you guys
are gaming lounge with us every Thursday.
Yeah, he's a Le Gaming Lounge founding alumni. So absolutely,
that's freaking
He's
awesome.
gonna be on his channel tomorrow. Actually,
he is one of the most supportive guys. What time's that show at?
2 Pacific, 5.
5.
Yeah,
good. You guys on the West Coast cannot do the East Coast thing. You all pause. Except Culture's the only one that nails it every time. Everybody else, I have to do math with Bear because he when it goes from East Coast to West Coast, it screws him up. So does Finaldeathstar. He's a little slow. That's why he's always late. Bruce Mortonwood in the house. Gotta agree, y'all are great. Half my own family wouldn't even stomp me out if I were on fire. I don't know why I'm giving him a Southern accent. Nonetheless, talk to me. We all love you, brother. And we have who I'll be on his show, I believe, next Thursday, correct? Next Thursday, Latino Slant Thursday show, I will be on as a panelist. So I really dug being on there to support your book, Kai. And Latino Slant, we've been talking in the chats for so long. It was nice to actually be on your stream. So, and we will have to have you on one of the Wednesday or Saturday dumps when you have a chance. I have so many people I want to bring on these shows, and it's just finding the time to even ask everybody. We have a $2 super chat, and that is from the Fat Steven Seagal Cuddles Casino. Whew. And that is Canadian $2. Pity Scott's internet. Check Kai's book. Fandom fam. I love that. That's great. That's great.
Yeah, Latino Paulie from Latino Slant. I don't remember which one of us was the first. I think he asked me to be on his show first, and I was like, "Oh, cool, yeah, you want to be on my show too?" I don't think he's really rearing to come back because it's like a 3-hour commitment.
Right.
But yeah, he did all right. It was him against Willie the Monkey King and someone else. And
I want to be on your game show. I want to be on the games. I want to do it.
All right,
definitely.
Let's talk about it.
We'll have to find out a good time. Well, it might have to be in a couple of weeks when I get home, but I'm definitely. What time is it always at?
It's at 1 p.m. So 1, 2, 3, 4 Eastern.
What day?
Yeah. Sundays, and it runs for 2.5-ish hours.
If I have a Sunday off, I'll let you know ahead of time, and I'll come on if you don't mind.
Yeah, sounds good, man.
Awesome.
Hell yeah, looking forward to it.
I would have a ball, man. One of my favorite. Okay, I'm gonna stop saying that because I really do mean this when I say it. Like all my channel members have supported me so much that they're my favorite. And this is one of my favorite names too. Emotionally unstable amphibian. Happy mate. International brothers. I love them. And I think that is it. Did I miss anybody?
Wookiee supremacy.
Wookiee supremacy. How can I miss you, brother? Wookiee is in the house. Thank you.
Robot.
It was at this time Scott's internet died. May we all have a moment of silence and a one in the chat for Scott's internet.
I see some ones, people. I was awful on Kai's game. Last place says Latino Slant. Angelus Draven also wants to point out that he was also on the show. Mad Mardigan's been on the show. I'd like to have memes on, but he never responds in a timely fashion on Twitter.
Memes is pretty busy. Yeah, he did a pretty good video today, following up on the same video subject I did today. So check out Memes' Memes of Destruction's take on the antitrust stuff that's going on with Congress. So
cool,
you definitely need to have Memes on. He would have everybody rolling, and it's a 3-hour jaunt into pure insanity. I love that so much, and I wanted to make sure that my buddy Ords won the day, and he did.
It's so funny. Mad Margan was so sure of himself.
I won't be able to hear you guys for about 4 minutes because I'm now back on hotel internet. I was using my hotspot. That was awesome. Yeah.
Good to have you back.
Spork in the house.
We're really going to have to work on getting you a better computer that is.
I hear you. Okay, I can hear you. Tell Culture to get off video. Definitely go to Avatar because I won't be able to see him.
Culture, he doesn't want to see your face anymore.
See, do what I do. Yeah. People can still see my face. No. So when they get tired of me,
there we go. Now I could hear Kai. I'm happy. Okay, I could hear Kai. He's the guest. That's the most important thing. All right. The worst part is now I lost our private chat, of course. So some Culture already brought it up. So I'm going to pull it up. I probably won't be able to hear him read. So let me know when he starts.
We can send you the links on Twitter if you want.
Yeah, they're there, and I can't run them myself now because of everything. It was cool. We lost about 6 or 7 people when I fell out, so that was nice. Everybody else, thank you for having me back. All right. So, Culture, when you're ready, I will shut up, and then Kai or Steven tell me when he's done.
Should we tell him at all?
All right. So we're actually experiencing the very thing that I predicted would be happening. We're in the second and third phase of the layoffs at these mega conglomerate media companies, which include Disney. Now, Disney, of course, is the owner of ESPN, and they are letting go or about to let go a significant number of employees from all across their platform. So from the story, massive layoffs could reportedly be coming to ESPN. ESPN is preparing to lay off several hundred employees in the coming weeks, according to multiple reports. The axe is likely to fall mostly on off-air, behind-the-camera personnel, but could also affect some on-air talent as well. There are obviously 2 outlets that are cited here, and the cost-cutting is a byproduct of the ongoing global pandemic that we're dealing with. The network may also ask its high-earning talent and executives to take a reduction in salary. The goal is to potentially cut tens of millions in salary, said sources. ESPN has already undergone multiple rounds of layoffs in recent years. In 2015, the company slashed over 300 jobs of mostly behind-the-scene workers. And then in 2017, the network laid off over 100 writers, reporters, and on-air radio and television personalities, including several high-profile names such as Danny Kanell, Trent Dilfer, Jay Crawford, Jamie Sire, Andy Katz, Britt McHenry, and Jane McManus, though they were some of the folks that were let go. So
wait a minute. Andy Katz was let go?
Yeah, oh yeah, this was in 2017. So that's I
didn't realize he's been gone that long. I just recently heard about that. I always liked Andy Katz. That sucked.
Yeah, he moved over to like Mad Dog or somewhere else. But anyway,
okay.
Sources: ESPN could potentially lay off hundreds of employees in coming weeks. The potential job cuts are expected to hit hardest behind the camera, but on-air talent could be impacted too. That's pretty much it for the story. Although right now they're telling you that ESPN reportedly employs 4,000 people at its headquarters in Bristol and 6,500 worldwide. Obviously, we're hoping the layoffs will be minimal, but early indications are things could get ugly at the worldwide leader. Again, this story should not surprise anybody, at least not anybody who's been listening to us, because we've been talking about the fact that these media companies are getting their pants handed to them. So, right. The sheer lack of ratings that they've been drawing is a problem, and those ratings are directly tied, whether or not they would like to admit it, to the to the politics that are now tied to sports, or at least tied to the people who report on sports or the people who are participating in sports. And that obviously is pushing a huge chunk of the audience away. So anyway, yeah, there you are.
That's pretty impressive, man. The thing that kills me is that's, again, part of Disney now, correct?
Oh yeah,
ESPN.
Absolutely. That's what I led off the article with, is the explanation that's a huge, or was a huge chunk of the Disney Corp when they acquired ESPN years and years ago to directly support the ABC sports programs that they had put together. So they made a good purchase. The deal was great at the beginning. Now, not so much. I mean, they've had some issues. They've lost a huge number of subscribers over the last 5 years. But a lot of that's because of cord cutting and a lot of other options for which to obtain sports and sports commentary. And some of the contributing factors to that was obviously the growth in Fox Network sports. So it's but honestly, that particular report, is exactly what I've been telling people, that have been listening to me for a while, because Disney's not anywhere close to done. ESPN's just the next victim. They cut loose 28,000 employees from Disneyland just a few days ago. This is, cut number 2, but this is one of a couple in their broadcast network. So be prepared. ABC's next. Yes,
I completely agree. And I wouldn't even doubt Hulu staff getting chopped too. I mean, coming sooner than later. They're downsizing big time, and they're going to streamline everything. And do you think they're hemorrhaging money? Like, don't you get to be in part of the calls, like Lorena?
They're in a position right now where, consider this: Disneyland, Disneyland is part of Parks, Products, and Experiences. Parks, Products, and Experiences make up 42% of quarterly revenue for the company.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That is insane how much that is.
Yeah. So when you have no cruise ships going, when you have no Disneyland open, and when you have 50% or less capacity at Walt Disney World, you're in trouble. You're losing $5 and $6 billion a quarter. In fact, for the very first time in the last quarter, they did not pay a dividend, and they are not going to be paying a dividend in the upcoming quarter as well. We are going to start to see them, be more accountable to investors. They actually canceled an investor get-together event that they had been pointing towards since that third quarter call as a place where investors and investment houses could get more guidance. And then they just turned around and canceled it a couple days ago, right after they got rid of 28,000 employees, most of which were, theme park employees, but it hit other parks as well. Like I said, ABC is in big trouble. Some of their other groups are in big trouble. Some of their studios are going to be cutting people. Nobody is going to be safe. So
Now, go ahead, buddy.
I was also going to add in, because I think you were talking about a couple of days ago, Culture. This is going to have an after effect. It's not just going to be with like ABC, ESPN, anything attached to Disney. It also has to deal with all the hospitality and entertainment districts of employment around there too, because they also make money off the tourists and more jobs. It's gonna be a downward funnel all the way through.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you consider that just the tax revenue base alone that Disneyland is responsible for, if you can include all the hospitality and restaurants and everything in that area of Orange County, you're looking at $300 billion in lost tax revenue.
It's going to be a ghost town. It's going to turn into a ghost town. I honestly feel like it.
Do you think they'll sell off international stuff?
I think right now they have universally Disney has a lot of bad pub when it comes to their dealings with China.
I was just about to bring that up.
They've exposed themselves to SEC investigations now with their financial reporting from a few years ago and for several years, according to one of the whistleblowers that was involved in getting that ball rolling. That investigation is still active, and I imagine there are going to be some things that come out of that will not reflect well on certain parties. So, Yeah. So, but Fat Steven said is correct, and Lorena was very eloquent in describing it the other day on her show with the Welcome to Florida show that we do. That the entire industry in Florida, the theme park industry supports just 90,000 folks job wise. I mean, just in all the hospitality that makes up everything supporting, because it's a convention town. It's a tourism town.
Right.
Orlando,
I mean, it's not even just hospitality though. Add in electricians, plumbers, carpenters. I mean, it's probably 90% driven.
In fact, that's one of the reasons why the governor in the state of Florida was like, you know what, we're done. We're open.
Can I ask? Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I wanted to ask you a couple of things. Was it true that they were supposed to have an investors meeting a couple of days ago, and they deleted the tweet that was up for weeks and just blew it off?
Yeah, that was the investor gathering. It's like
that's what you were talking about, right?
Yeah, and that got canceled. And again, it's almost simultaneously, if not a day or so later, that they said, you know what, we're not doing this. We're going to just move forward and do everything on the quarterly call. So on November 12th, I believe that's the Q4 call.
And my second part to my question is how close do you think Florida and Disney in general is close to becoming a sinking Titanic?
I don't think that's the case. Again, Disney World is going to be self-sustaining when they get back to their normal capacity levels. Right now, they're still trying to live within, the political perception of the party for which they are currently supporting.
Right.
If they were to abandon that, like Iger abandoned Gavin Newsom's economic task force, then I think they would be. Yeah, it was. I think they would be in a far better position than they are now. So my thoughts are this: Gavin Newsom came out either today or last night in a widely reported article and statement or multiple articles, I should say, stating that the theme park industry would not be opening, at least Disneyland and Universal or Universal Hollywood would not be opening for still quite some time. So not good.
Well, let me put it this way. And, and then Kai, I'd love to hear what you have to say about this type of stuff. But for me, and I don't mind where people go. I don't mind people's political views. I'm an open person when it comes to people's views here. We debate, we talk. So whatever you lean, I don't care. But what I feel is when the little man, the mom and pop shops have been destroyed the last 8 months because of a political battle between two parties in this country and weaponizing a pandemic. I'm doing air quotes, a pandemic that, is as bad as the flu, maybe a little worse. Now, when it starts to affect major corporations, to me, that's the sign of, will they actually flip the script, these major corporations, and stop leaning one way and start leaning another to the other party that's willing to say, let's open everything back up. Let's try the herd mentality, the herd immunity. Let's work, when we get be smart, stay safe, wear masks if you have to, wash your hands, stay away from people if you have to, but people have to get back to work. I don't know what your feelings are on that, guys. Mine are open it up and let's pray for the best and keep the old elderly and the people that are more likely to get sick, maybe keep them home.
Yeah, Kai, you know what? You haven't said a lot in a bit. What do you think?
No, I was letting you read the thing, and you have insight onto this stuff because of your like we were saying about the investor meetings and stuff. But I think so. To start off on like the politics of it, I think when people get too swept up in one party or another, they forget that each one is supposed to have a purpose in society. Right. And they stop listening to good. They stop trying to discern good from bad advice, and they just side with whatever the party is doing, which is always historically a bad route to take. And so that's led to people just forming opinions based on, and it's so widespread that people form their opinions based on political leanings instead of actually looking at the information and the circumstances and determining what the best move is. And yeah, I agree that we should take care of those who are vulnerable, but things have gotten under control from what I'm looking at. The graphs come up on my newsfeed and stuff, and I see the map of my county and I see the numbers in different regions, and like my area is chill, everywhere around here is chill. I don't know why it's, they're acting like it's not, but even the recorded numbers are showing that it's dropping off, and people still don't want to open up. Like, and it's beyond dropping off. It's like there's some areas that are just good, and so I don't know why they don't want to open back up. But I agree. I think they should.
Can you guys kind of
a small business, and like they need, things are slow right now because of how things are, and so yeah, it sucks, man.
Do you think it's gone to the point now where both sides have just forgotten about the people in general, and they're more focused on their infighting and trying to get one thing done than worrying about the mass of people of all things done? And that's what's causing this discourse of being locked down or not progressing into getting society back to a stabilized normality?
Look, I'll be honest. I always considered myself a left-leaning person until the last 4 years. And watching the Democratic Party fall into an hysteria and derangement over losing one election and not deciding on saying, hey, what did we do wrong getting out there our message? What did we do wrong trying to help Americans? But instead of that, they went on the attack. And now it's, okay, we attack. The guy who's being attacked attacks back. They're not used to that either. So I think the battle is just now in a phase where no one's willing to admit when they're wrong. No one's willing to admit that they're losing. No, and if one says the sky's blue, the other one says no, the sky's purple. It's like they cannot agree on anything. There was a moment in time back in late March, early April, when I thought there was going to be a nonpartisan agreement on the stimulus package. Chuck Schumer said there was, the Republicans said there was, and then Nancy Pelosi comes flying back into town, and nothing. It just got stomped right there. Everything halt. We're not working with these people until we make our own plan. And that's when I realized this is going to be a political thing, and it has been. No one wants a bill to go through, even if it's good for the country, if it says Democrat, and no one wants a bill to go through if it says Republican. They want to win. That's all it is about now. It's people on both sides just want to win, and you have to realize, who do you agree with more? And I've come to realize I agree with small government. I agree with opening up, loosening regulations so people can make more money, so that they can hire more people, so everybody can make more money, and I do understand the idea of protecting the environment, but we also have to understand that we take some things way too far, and the science, there's so much science that reacts against each other. If you tell me that the oceans are going to start bubbling tomorrow, someone's going to tell me they're not, so I don't know. Script Doctor, I don't know if I'll be able to hear you, but welcome.
Hello, how's everybody doing this evening? I apologize for being late. I was stuck on public transit.
Oh,
you got TTC'd?
Well, just outside of that, Vaughan Transit.
Even worse.
Freaking Canada, huh?
Hey! You have your own country to worry about.
It's like fifth out of the world transit that I've been on, and my area of Canada. I once had to go to Hamilton. They don't even pick you up for the buses. I don't know how they make money.
Crazy.
But back to your thing, Scott, I kind of agree. It's watching giant old generation children bickering over something that is costing everyone else in the world their life, their reasons to push forward. Everything they've worked for is being flushed over an infight over who's going to kneel first. And the only thing they're kneeling to is the wrong things, and not focusing on the majority of the people who need help, who are all screaming and burning things down for help. And they've forgotten that that's why they have these parties, to make their country better. because now all
they forgot us. Both sides. I'm starting.
And it's not just in the U.S.
Sides.
It's wherever this has affected people and this stuff is going on. It's affecting all people. It's not just Americans. It's not just Canadians. It could be anywhere. It is tearing what society has become down to a child high school bicker fight over who gets to get the next pizza. You know what I mean? It's
because the party system in principle is not just about representatives. It's also about checks and balances outside of the normal checks and balances of the institutions.
Right.
And when the party stops listening to their constituents, which has been the case for 65 odd years at least.
Yes.
Yes. We see the repercussions of that, and it all comes down to the fact that there's not as much reverence with regards to getting involved in politics, whether as a voter or whether as a potential representative. And it's all marketed in a sense to just be who's on that ticket every 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And no one thinks about the bottom up type of stuff. It's basically proving more, again, like trickle down with regards to power and access doesn't work. You have to build a foundation. You have to rise to the challenge. We rise together, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So that it also comes down to the fact of education. Like there's so much, we get population booms, we get urgency a lot to the point where we just rush to make things done as opposed to are we doing it correctly so that we don't deal with this issue again. And what we've seen is programs cut, people hired that are not qualified for what they're doing just to fit, not necessarily a quota, just to fill a position because there's such a demand that they just don't have time to vet people for it. And so as a result, that demand ends up suffering because they're not getting the information, they're not getting the discussion, they're not getting the debate or education that they need with regards to whatever program it is. And that's also the same thing with manufacturing. There's lots of manufacturing jobs out there prior to this pandemic that nobody would go to because, number one, they weren't properly advertised for people to find. And number two, how many trade schools are there that are actually or vocation schools that are really pumping out and trying to lure people in to, explore these jobs as stable means of providing for oneself and one's family.
I got to agree with you on that, man. I'm now an electrician, but I wish I was told what the benefits of going to a trade school would have been when I was younger, because I was the type of kid that was always told he's intelligent, but he can't sit down and take a test. And I wish I knew that there was this option of me going to a school where I got to work on a trade and make a damn good living to support my family. And, I wish more kids understood that, because it's almost like there's a system now, like it's become in the last, again, 40 years. Oh, if you don't go to college, you're not going to get a good job. Mm-hmm. And that's what I grew up with. If you don't go to college, you're not going to get a good job. Well, some people are made for college. I was there for 3 years. It was the most expensive rent I ever had. I partied like a rock star and I left. But,
I think the stigma for what college can do for you needs to change as well, because for how many decades were people telling their children, oh, you're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, or you're going to work in business? And those are the three like abstract things of careers. And there's so many more jobs than that, to the point where you're oversaturating these three fields and completely creating a trades gap in another. And on top of that too, like college is valuable, especially when the people that are your educators are not trying to teach you, social constructs or whatever BS, but they're trying to teach you the facts of the subject at hand. Like I know electricians that went to college and they benefited greatly from that. Like it's not just for trades, but it's also for history and arts, because there's something valuable to that, but they're not supposed to be your primarily dependency of education and only of your education. It's supposed to just open up other doors and windows and opportunities, because right now we have programs of critical theory, which doesn't sound like anything. And it's because it's not really anything.
You also got from, middle school to high school, it's just learning how to take tests. And going into college, it depends on what school you go to. You're either going gender studies or you're going to a conservative school. I feel like there's nothing in the middle anymore. And I think we focus way too much on test taking in this country.
As opposed to actual results, yeah.
Learning. I want my children to learn.
The default rounded people. The one thing that I think is the smartest advice I was ever given by a bunch of my teachers and eventually my parents when they kind of caught up was take whatever sort of education, post-secondary or post-secondary education, and focus on the primary language of the country. So, for instance, in Canada, it'd be English. Take your English, because with an English degree, that opens up a lot of doors. That allows you to get into other schools if you want to change careers. It's a good foundation for exploration. Because you can always do something. Like, do you know how valuable an English degree is for someone in the trades? Because they need someone to, like, say, write instructions for how they do stuff.
Right. We have a lot of that stuff too. That's funny.
Yeah, like my oldest godson, he's going to school to work on building and repairing airplanes, not just for the military, but also for commercial airplanes.
Nice.
And
awesome.
I drilled into him that he needs to learn English inside out and backwards, because we've had teachers in the trades that spell gasoline with a Z.
Oh my God.
Or a Z. So, it's kind of important. And what's interesting is that he's getting fast tracked because he's so articulate at being able to explain how this stuff works on a level that everybody understands. He's now going to be the most popular person of his class, and probably the most sought after individual of his graduating class, because he's able to write manuals in a very easy to access way, just because his parents and myself and the uncles and all this stuff just kept on drilling in him to study the hell out of English, and he's been taking it as his elective at this school at the same time. And it's just important because communication is incredibly valuable.
The other side to it is that the true measure of how well you understand something is how well you can communicate it to somebody who doesn't know anything about it. And if you do that, then you know your thing. And then being an English major on top of having his craft like on lock is fantastic. That's great, man.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And it's something that should be sort of spread throughout, because it's not even a political ideology or anything of that nature. It's just the value of communication, and then the exploration of whatever you want to do that will make you happy in life. But just by simple your primary language, or if you're in a country that's bilingual, like try and study both as best you can. It's going to be difficult, but it'll be so rewarding once you get over that hump.
Mm-hmm.
I think additionally, one of the sorry, Script. Oh wait,
let's go ahead.
I don't know if the names are. I don't know.
Yeah, that was. Don't worry, that was Steven. He'll get in there.
Cool.
Segal will talk.
So shit.
All right, we'll let him think about the comment. But I wanted to add also is also kind of like a question towards the schooling thing. At the same time, I think they have to take apart how they're training kids when it gets to, let's say, from elementary school to high school and how they're planning their future. Yes, they should have that road of knowing about trade schools, but we should no longer be training the youth in general to think college or university, because what it is like, you're not training them to pick college or university to choose what they want to go into for a future. You're choosing how big their debt is going to be in the future and what they're going to be stuck in. So not only are you creating this like three-way highway that is limiting them and their imagination of what they could do and want to do and try to find the middle, they're also creating them a zone where they might get stuck in debt, and that debt will follow you for most of your young adult life, and that will also be a hamper and an effect on how you grow. That has to change right there in general. Yeah, it's a mental health thing, but it's also a financial health thing, a physical health thing, because if your mental health starts going, it then affects your physical. And when your physical gets affected, you can no longer do the job. And it's an ongoing cycle that needs to be broken. And I honestly believe that.
The other thing about that is that you just need to learn to do something. Like being pushed into college, industries change. And so if you go to get a degree for an industry or for a thing that gets phased out because of technology or economics or something, you now learn something that you can't employ, that can't benefit you, and you have all that debt. Like when I was coming out of college, came out of college in 2008, right when the recession hit. And like studios just closed down all over the place, and for us it was like just watching jobs disappear. But I wanted to add to what Script was saying about communication and stuff. I think the reason that a lot of people get angry in conversations and are incapable of having a back and forth on a subject is because of a lack of a grasp on language. Like they can't actually express themselves sufficiently, and they get frustrated when someone else can, and then they get angry and things
Like my
Patient,
6-year-old.
envious, all those resentful at sometimes, right? Because they'll say, "Oh,
Yeah.
you learned these words because you lived in this area and that got access to this education, etc."
So smart, like that kind of shit.
So what you're saying is that both parties, going back to our first discussion a little while back, is the government stuff that's going on right now. They all need an English major so they can communicate better and make things start getting better.
That's one
And
part. I also think
also-
they need to grow up and drop their damn ego.
That too, but
Right.
ego is so hard to drop, man, because you're always telling yourself you're so good, and you hear you're so good, and all you're doing is being so good for your selfishness.
Yeah,
Yes.
I also think it'd be funny. I mean, I don't actually wish for this to happen, but it'd be very funny if not only do you put term limits on certain political positions, but you also put consequences where if you don't do anything in 4 years, like at all, like it's conclusively proven that all you did was sit in the desk and pontificate, but not actually pass bills or create laws. You then have to pay back the salary you earned.
I would agree with that.
That'd be great. All right, let's get off of this topic and let's get on Rose Tico. Wait a minute. Did I say that right?
Her face.
Did I say that right?
Wait, before we
So-
go on to Rose Tico specifically, I'm going to drop a fun fact just for fun.
Yeah,
did you
please do.
know that in Back to the Future, number 1, when he dresses up as a spaceman to scare the shit out of his dad.
I learned this today too. Go for it.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so the Eddie Van Halen played the guitar for that scene.
You talk about
When
the
he puts,
headphones.
when he
on
puts
his
the
head.
headphones on his father and to
Yeah.
melt his brain. That was
Oh.
Eddie Van Halen, dude. That's insane.
I am Darth Vader. I come from the planet Vulcan.
Yeah, a hair dryer as like a brain melting device.
Yeah. It's one of the best parts of the
Marty.
movie too.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
You know what really bothered me, since we're going on that subject, is that did they ever release an action figure or any type of statue of him in that suit?
That
Well,
would
I'm
be
certain
dope.
there's something of that. Probably like Hot Toys has it.
Oh, damn you, Hot Toys.
Where's Tom when we need him? Tom would know.
Tom would know.
And
So
I
would
didn't-
Robert Meyer Burnett, but he's already streaming somewhere else.
I would like to clarify to the chat too. My eyes joke wasn't towards Rose Tico; it was for seeing Disney and Star Wars in the same sentence. That's the reason why.
Oh
my
yeah,
eyes
I think
were weird.
everybody finds Kelly Marie Tran to be very attractive and also talented, and just completely
She got written
ashamed
a
that she was
crappy part.
humiliated in this type of film.
So
Yeah,
every-
Rose
yeah.
Tico, like, wait a minute, real quick. Stick Kenobi says Rose Tico is a sack of potatoes, not that entertaining. And I agree with him. Kelly Marie Tran, on the other hand, she is a good looking young lady who probably has some talent. I just haven't seen her in other things. But Rose Tico was set up to fail. I'm sorry. That's the way I feel about it. But let's get culture. If you don't mind, let's read some of this awesome article and we'll discuss.
Sounds good. John M. Chu lobbies for Disney Plus Star Wars series for Kelly Marie Tran's Rose Tico. Crazy Rich Asians director John M. Chu is squarely in Rose Tico's corner. Chu has taken to social media to urge Disney Plus to make a Star Wars series revolving around Resistance member Rose Tico, played by Kelly Marie Tran, in the Star Wars films The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. Okay, at Disney Plus, put me in, coach. Let's make this series happen. Hashtag Rose Tico deserved better at Star Wars, Chu tweeted Friday. Trans Rose Tico was a major supporting character introduced in Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi, but her own screen was greatly reduced in The Rise of Skywalker, prompting anger from fans. Their outrage was sparked by the way Tran, the first woman of color to be cast in a significant role in the Star Wars franchise, was treated by some fans who disapproved of her casting in The Last Jedi. That is patently false narrative, you
Sacrifice.
I know. we didn't disapprove of her casting. We disapproved of the character. It was poorly written. It was a part of the movie that went nowhere. It was a shaggy dog. That's all it was. It was a shaggy dog.
They gave Mary Tran the same body dimensions of Ryan Johnson in that movie.
Yes, I think it was.
Oh, come on! You can't insult a sack of potatoes and compare it to Ryan Johnson. You can't do that. That's not.
It's true,
fair
but I
to
could
the
easily
potato.
picture him wearing that jumpsuit and it fitting perfectly. Then.
Oh, he went home in front of the mirror. What was that?
It might fit him a little tight.
We have to bring up, I don't know, culture. We have to bring this narrative up every few months to remind people.
We're not done.
Ridiculous.
We're not done.
Oh, I know we're not. Go on, my friend.
There we go. A victim of online bullying, my ass, forced off social media, also my ass, and had to delete her Instagram account due to harassment and racist attacks, also my ass. Stay tuned.
No proof.
She is currently in post-production on Warner Brothers In the Heights, an adaptation of Lin-Manuel Miranda's Tony-winning musical, set to hit theaters in June 2020.
When was this article?
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Wait a minute. How old is this article?
It just said it came up today. I don't know why that was posted as a yesterday article when I was looking at Google News.
Oh my, wow. How crazy is that? Maybe this article is being revisited. I think this is really funny. So anyway,
I'm going to look up you guys keep going.
There's nothing left to this article. I mean, obviously this is a really old article.
Almost a year old. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's funny because I saw it also posted on Twitter today. So color me confused.
Did we just Back to the Future ourselves?
I think we may have. That's really funny.
Oh my God, Darth Vader did come from planet Vulcan.
And I didn't actually, like I said, I saw this on Twitter today, and I don't know why.
Heck, I'd still say, like,
clean your cache.
If someone wants to make a Rose Tico show, I would be front in line to help write that character and do her some justice. Make her like the Mr. Scott of the Star Wars universe,
Oh, hell yeah. Her and her sister, even her and her sister before death, they have a good story plot line of like how they got into the rebellion, what they went through. They can do that. Sorry, culture.
I found the reason why, guys. I found it. It's because of our pals. Scott, share me, Scott.
Share him.
Thank you. It's because of our pals that we got this covered. Yay! 11 hours ago, Kelly Marie Tran would love to return for a Rose Tico show on Disney Plus. So apparently she weighed in on it finally. So let's read the story from the guys who definitely don't have anything covered. When Star Wars: The Last Jedi hit theaters, the movie split audience opinion in half quicker than Darth Maul was bisected in The Phantom Menace. That's actually almost clever, but poorly worded. J.J. Abrams had played it incredibly safe with The Force Awakens by using nostalgia to power his relaunch of the beloved franchise. But Rian Johnson, are you sure it's not Rian? Anyway, was vilified for making some major changes to the established mythology. Of course, the filmmaker eventually found himself being widely thanked for his contributions to the series by only a certain particular group of folks. Sorry, I added that part. Once The Rise of Skywalker became the subject of the fan base's ire. But one of the more unpleasant points of contention was the backlash directed towards Kelly Marie Tran's Rose Tico. I don't know about that.
When did that happen?
Yeah, again, no receipts. The young actress must have thought her career had been changed forever by securing a prominent role in The Last Jedi. But she was ultimately forced off of social media entirely after being the target of a torrent of online abuse. There is no proof of that. Keep bringing it up, you lying turkey monkeys. Inevitably, many Star Wars fans were then furious at Lucasfilm for drastically reducing her screen time in The Rise of Skywalker, just 2 years after Rose Tico had been labeled the worst thing to happen to Star Wars since Jar Jar Binks. But the 31-year-old has taken it all in her
Really? Not
stride.
Jake Lloyd?
Yeah, I don't know. Seems really odd. Okay. Well, this article's almost done because it's garbage. Filmmaker John M. Chu recently volunteered to develop a Rose Tico spinoff series. That would have been, well, how many months are we in? 10 months.
Wait a minute. 10 months before.
10 months, yeah.
10 months ago is very recent for we've got this completely uncovered.
Right.
Well, I mean, the lockdown, the last 6 months have kind of been a blur, so maybe they're just lost in time.
Well, no, they're not the only ones who have written about this today. We have Cinema Blend. There's like 3 others I just saw that wrote about this same topic today.
Cinnabon? Cinnabon is
Cinnabon.
I love
Cinnabon,
Cinnabons.
yeah.
They're so good.
Oh God, let's get some
read
Cinnabon.
that. Yeah.
Give me the icing.
I'm really hungry right now. Filmmaker John M. Chu recently volunteered to develop a Rose Tico spinoff series for Disney Plus, and while that doesn't seem likely to happen, Tran has now admitted that she'd definitely be on board with the idea. He's so cool. I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's so strange. I had so much fun being in that world, but I feel like the pieces would have to fall into a perfect little puzzle, and everything would have to feel like it's the right time and the right moment and the right story, like with any other project. Oh my gosh, that was a long sentence. But I don't know. Yay,
Wait a minute, but I'm confused.
Why is it when Culture read that part, I had all of a sudden in my head, it just popped and all I heard was Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. That's literally what I heard.
But what I'm
Brady.
confused about is this. What I'm confused about is this. If she had such a horrible time and was, harassed and racism was thrown at her and she had to get off of Instagram and Twitter and all this shit because of the fans, why would she want to go back to that role?
So she can be another victim again.
Yeah, because she never was a victim. She never came out. Explain it, Culture. Explain it.
She never claimed to be a victim. There, you can find no evidence of anything that she said publicly or otherwise. There were no receipts provided for any of this so-called abuse, and she walked away from it because she was trying to get away from the media. It's the same reason that
she was being shamed by the media, and it's also the internals of Hollywood.
Yeah. So it had nothing to do with the her being castigated by fans for or being driven off by all of the racism that theoretically exists in the world.
My apologies. I should have rephrased it, Culture, as I was coming from the viewpoint of media.
Oh, well, then you did a good job. So let me finish up because I don't know if I can recover that way of reading. Let's see. But I don't know. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think there are a lot of characters in that universe that we have yet to hear enough about. There are currently up to 9 Star Wars shows in the works for Disney Plus. Actually, there's only 6. And virtually every character from the franchise's long and illustrious history has been linked to an appearance at some point. Well, that's also not true. But based on the way he was treated by a vocal minority of fans, a big lie thing.
Oh my God, I can't stand this anymore.
I know. Tran is probably better off leaving the galaxy far, far away behind her. Wow, do these people suck.
Yeah.
Plus those extra 5 Star Wars shows are going to be reduced to 2 come the new year.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no. But I mean, there's only there really are only 6 shows that are in any type of active development / even the beginnings of production that aren't The Mandalorian or the Kenobi show, which has had more false starts than anything I think I've ever seen. But anyway,
is that a new scene from Venom or not Venom from?
We're gonna get.
I swear we just saw a new scene from Morbius.
No, these are just various clips from Spider-Man: Far From Home and Morbius.
I swear there was one. Now
they're overly edited to look like it's something new.
Okay. That's how they roll.
Do you remember the Titanic 2 commercial that hit the internet like 20 years ago that everybody thought was real?
No.
I just remember the Vince Vaughn Titania, the sequel to Titanic, because it was the name got shoved into the dirt, so it said Titan or Titania, and they were building their own culture underwater because they had an air pocket to start their. Oh, it was great. It was like a.
Now, this is the one where Jack gets revived.
He finds the blue sea gem and it brings him back to life as
Or
Iron
was he like
Man.
Captain America? Or was he like Captain America frozen in the ice and they found him?
Yeah, that's basically what the premise was. I remember like in college, I was working at a video store and customers were asking me if their Titanic 2 was coming. I was like, there is no Titanic 2.
Yeah.
Like, no, I saw it on the internet. It's like, it's no. Have you seen it in a newspaper? Have you seen it on TV? No, it doesn't exist, you idiot.
Titanic 2, the ocean floor. That's what it would be called. And it'd just be hour and a half of you just watching a ship.
Titanic 2, the floor filled of corpses.
Yeah.
Actually, I think they could probably pull it off. They could probably pull it off by like borrowing heavily from BioShock. I think you could have like a development company that was utilizing the Titanic as a base of construction, in the 1950s or something.
Or like Jurassic Park and bringing back their DNA.
Oh,
what they could do is they could do the same movie from the different point of view, from like the point of view of someone who drowned in the lower decks, and so this movie would be shorter.
Yeah. Great.
Well, like how about the violin player? That's in the orchestra that's playing them.
Now that is a dope historical thing. I don't care if it's real or not. I always believed it was.
Did we just solve how Black Widows could be brought back to life?
Actually, I think I would love to see Titanic as a comedy. Wow. So following, there's a story of this guy who was kind of a drunk and he was always drinking all the time. And when the Titanic was sinking, he was drunk. And so they woke him up and he put on his thing and he was in the ice, but being drunk, and he kept drinking while he was floating around. And that kept him alive.
Because it brought down like his core temperature or something and kept him in stasis of some sort.
Yeah, like
it saved him.
It kept his blood pumping. Like it kept him warm. So
I thought you were just going to talk about how the captain of the Titanic was an alcoholic and that's why it sunk.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you could do a comedy about that.
But he's in the comedy movie. Like, are you sure you should be drinking with me? I mean, I'm kind of a lush. I can drink a lot. The captain's like, I'll be fine.
Or they could go the way of Ghostbusters 1, since the Titanic technically did land at the docks. They could just have the ghosts going back to their old homes and finishing off their stories.
So I got it. I took a date to Titanic. And in the very opening credits, I go, the boat sinks. And I screamed it, and people were so mad at me. I thought it was funny. Like, come on.
It is funny.
Like, we all know the boat sinks. There were people at that movie theater that did not know the boat sank.
What the heck? It was 1912 it sank. And so, like, what,
That's
80 years later, they didn't know?
System, man. That's our educational system. Titanic, the most famous sinking of a boat ever. And these people,
one of two, I think. Yeah,
I ruined it for him.
How though? It's like it was a meme even before memes existed. And like I said before, with Ghostbusters, there was literally that scene where the Titanic docked and dead people got off the boat. How could you not?
Aaron was the document.
Ghostbusters.
Teach Marin, he's all better late than never.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Huge. Oh, that was some good stuff.
Next thing you're gonna tell me is like the State Marshall Man is a real resident of New York.
Oh my God.
He is. He has a great family. They have a Shih Tzu, and they're really nice people.
Oh, he's a sailor. He doesn't have a family. He's sleeping around.
Well,
he
has a marshmallow in every port.
Yep.
The timing of you telling that story, by the way, Sporking, was very unfortunate for me.
What's that?
You sent me into a coughing fit.
Choking you out. Sorry, man.
You spoiled the whole movie for him in our chat. How dare you? How dare you?
I ruined it for everyone. Spoilers for Titanic, guys. Not the movie, the actual Titanic. Spoilers.
It's sunk.
I still like to see the comic. Great.
Yeah, right. I have one more article I wanted to go over, but I gotta end this pretty soon because I'm up at 3 a.m. So do we want to try to just run over that study real quick, or
Yeah, sure.
do we? Yeah, we'll run over the study, but I want to make a little more time for Kai to sell his book to everybody, because I want people buying this, and I want Kai's links in the chat, people, please. If someone could put his book to Amazon, like the Amazon link, or just is your website is in my description where you can go down and get to the Amazon, right? It's linked to it, correct?
Yeah, on my website, I've got links to Amazon, links to signed copies, and I've got a free preview of the first 2 chapters. So the prologue and chapter 1 are available on the website if you go to the space crime section.
Yep.
Yeah, pardon me. So
yeah, why don't you talk a little bit about what was your favorite character to write about, and will this was it one of your main characters? Was it one of the kids? You know,
I don't know.
That's like asking what child you like. Huh?
I look forward to exchanges between characters. It's not so much writing any specific character. Like, I look forward to when this person talks to that person. Like, how is that going to go down? And that was what I had fun with. But in terms of maybe dialogue, Farouk was the most fun. And then the alien is the hardest one to write.
The alien, well, getting into an alien's mind, or is it
like when he speaks, like he's coming from a perspective that's beyond anyone around him, and there's only so much he's allowed to say or talk about, and so and then his perspective is totally like it was difficult to get to the point where I was looking at like people and human beings as, you know, like how would this thing look at us from like we'd be little specks, you know?
Right. And I kind of like that. I dig that, man. That was really cool. And they can get that on Amazon right now through your website. And there's signed copies. Is that also coming through Amazon?
Yeah, that's through me. Like I gotta order them, and then well, I did order them. They gotta get here. They take longer for some reason. If I ordered a book right now, it'd get to me in like 2 days. But I ordered the author copies so I could send them back out, and because I'm sure I'm gonna have to pay for shipping on these. It's pretty heavy.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy to promote it every chance I get. Guys, check out in my description. The link is to his website. Please, we got to support creative people in the fandom. And doesn't matter what hashtag they rep. If they're a cool person and they like sci-fi, they like fantasy, and they're one of us, then we need to support them to show that this thing can sustain itself. It's not just a fad, what we have been doing the last few years here. This is a movement. It's a movement to change culture and go back to storytelling the way it's supposed to be, and not use it as a platform for your, agendas. I understand it always has had that, but if it takes a hit in the plot and the development of the book or movie you're watching, that's an issue we all have. We want to escape. These things are to help us escape and become part of the world you created, and that's what I can't wait for.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate the support. I don't want to like lean on it. Please check out the preview, see if it's something that you're digging, and if you're gonna get into it, and yeah, if you feel like you wanted to read the rest of it, then hell yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, I'll tell people just buy it.
Actually, Kai, we should be thanking you for actually giving us your imagination on paper.
Yes.
So we owe you just as much a thank you as you thanking us for reading it. You're the one who put your heart and whatever was on your sleeve in a book and shared it with the rest of us. So we owe you a thank you too.
That was unique. Thank you for the thank
you.
No,
it's the truth, though.
Wow, I'm sorry. I just sound like I just jumped out of your bushes or something. He gave me a compliment.
No, you're a creeper. That's okay. What I'm trying to say is it's something that I think I completely agree with you, though, Fat Steven. It's a contract we used to have where the artist would put something out, and if we loved it, we would support that artist. And it came to a point where we didn't love stuff they were putting out, and we got yelled at, and we got called names, really horrible names. And it's been going on for too long. If you put it perfectly, if you like it, please buy it. If you don't have to buy it. I say support you in that anyways, but we need to thank you for creating something that you really did. You put something out there that people are going to judge, and you that's your heart on your sleeve. That's your baby. I could tell that you care a lot about this story.
You might not see it, but you created a new universe, a new galaxy. You created a whole new universe in that book. And the only thing you can do is either expand on it, learn from the criticism and make what you want better or not, or just build it how you see fit. So you brought us in. So that thanks is for us allowing to see your universe, to see your imagination. So it's not trying to harp on you. It's a two-way street. Artists provide the form, but it takes the people who actually want to give it a chance and understand it and learn about it and want more. It makes them have to say thank you and hoping we get more. Again with the awkward silence. Stop with the awkward silence. Jeez.
Because you're awkward. You're awkward.
Thank you guys very much. I like the way I see the universe. I wonder how much artists are really creating things and how much we're seeing, what's out there. Because I think that the way I believe reality to be is that consciousness is the underlying fabric of everything, and so everything that is in our universe is everything that exists, and everything that is not in it is everything that doesn't exist. And our imagination is everything that doesn't exist. And so I wonder how much artists and creators if we're looking, if our consciousness is looking in on another reality, or if we're creating other realities, through that link in consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful, man. I like that.
Hold me.
Storyman. Well, you're the one that opened up the emotional floodgates.
I'm being serious. Do you know how many authors I wish I could thank in person for the books and the trilogies I've read? It comes hand in hand, and I believe that.
Oh, if I had a chance to talk to George R. R. Martin now, I'd
Martin's hiding in a cabin. Screw Martin. He needs to just get that book done. Sorry.
He shot himself in the foot with that by making such a brilliant series to start with that he probably felt he couldn't.
What else did you guys want to talk about? Oh, no, he fell out. Oh.
He did not.
Oh.
You son of a...
Sorry, my bad. What are we looking at here? Oh, first of all, Storyman-Jack is another
what a
one,
dick.
guys. So... I think Storyman-Jack's a really nice guy. For you to call him a dick,
I'm calling you a dick.
Okay, Storyman-Jack is really nice. He that's why he's writing his own entertainment. He says F Hollywood, and I agree with him. Please, guys, support his channel, support his writing, and let's bring this guy back up.
Yeah, Scott, you seem to have like a running pattern with people named Steven.
I know, they all F with me.
I wonder how long it's going to take before people start rushing.
It's in the book.
It's working.
So with the whole Art Martin thing, before the show, was asking about the next one already. So I wonder how long it's going to be before people are like, "Hey, Kai, when the hell is the next one? It's been a year already." I'm like, "Bro, this shit takes time. You need to chill."
Have you thought about getting someone to do animated webtoons of small ideas you have that won't go into your next book?
I was thinking of doing, so I had some stuff on my website a while ago, like a year ago, when I was still kind of trying to figure out what content to provide and whatnot. And I had some character profiles, I had some stuff about the world and history and stuff. So I've been thinking of cleaning those up once I have the ebook out and all my stuff sorted. I was thinking of going back and cleaning those up and maybe writing a short story or two in the world and then publishing that for free. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have any, firm plans.
That's fine. I just wanted to ask, man, before Scott kicks me again.
No, I won't kick you because somebody else wants to get on. Hey, look who showed up. Yeah.
Ah, it's the Enema Menace.
I can't believe Scott's internet is holding up. I can't believe Scott's internet can support this many people. I was
First of
told
all, I'm not even hotspotting it right now. I'm on hotel internet, and for some reason I heard Steven the moment he came in.
That's awesome.
This is a crazy world we live in.
It was a dark roast as he entered the room. But
And as we're closing it down, thanks a lot for showing up, Steven.
You're welcome.
I texted you only like 2 hours ago. What is this culture? What is this?
Presented without comment or without any introduction. Watch and enjoy.
I farted.
Yeah. There he is. What the?
Now, no events on the president's schedule today, and important to say,
What? What?
Again, it's the second time. Jesus.
Take the wheel.
You see a white person? What was it?
Please be a raccoon.
He was being attacked by raccoons when he was doing a live reaction in front of the White House.
You'd think Trump would sick the dogs on CNN, but no, he sicks the raccoons because they can smell vermin.
Well, you know, you got to go after the trash where it is, right?
Mommy used to chase them off the back porch with a broom.
Yeah, I think it's funny because I'm not sure what he throws at it, but watch, he throws
Like a sandbag.
Get away from my lunch.
Oh my God, he tries to crush
that's
the
an apple
thing.
box.
Hey, kick it.
That was yeah.
He went super saiyan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
If that was a fighting game, that would have been a special move. Yeah.
freaking cat raccoon.
I wish we could see the raccoon because I know it's probably flipping him off, going, "You missed."
You're real slow.
So they just came at him for no reason?
No, trash reporting gets trash pandas. It's all known.
Trash.
Anyway, I thought that would be kind of a lighthearted way. Thanks to Script Doctor to.
That's awesome.
That was a good one, Script.
That was all script.
Well, we're going to be closing it down. Kai, any final words about your book? We talked a good amount about it. Steven, that was funny what you said about it. Yeah. Again, your link is in my description, guys. If somebody could put it in the chat, that'd be great. If not, it will be in my description. Link to his website shows where you are, what shows you'll be on talking about the book, and just streaming, and how to get the book through Amazon. Anything else you'd like to say, Kai, before we end this?
Lunchtime.
Yeah, I just really appreciate everyone's, support and all the kind words. Everyone who's been here with all these streams and reading it and promoting it, and I really, really, it means a lot. Thank you all so much. Unless you mean
are welcome, sir.
That's all I gotta say.
No, you're welcome, my friend. You're welcome, my friend. And let's go around the corner. And I'm shocked my internet's working. I keep thinking it's like freezing up, and I'm like, God, I'm still working here. This is great. So, Fat Steven Seagal, tell them where they can find you, buddy.
Well, they can find me on Twitter at Fat Seagal Batman, because I don't really have a YouTube channel yet. I'm still working on the basics to get that up and running. Mm-hmm. You can find me in a lot of your channels, not doing what Steven's doing right there in that picture, but I'm always watching, supporting, and giving insight and comedic memes when possible. And you can find me probably with Lorena on Friday during our lunch table, where we will have Kai back again. We'll all make more awkward silences.
Yeah, very awkward. And I appreciate those awkward silences. Not that much, but
Bite me, Scott. Bite me.
Yeah, anytime. And the great Script Doctor, where can they find you, sir?
Well, they can find me here, and I think Saturday on your channel with the Saturday dump, and
yes,
and on YouTube.com/ScriptDoctor, and Twitter at ScriptDoctorPhD. I just dropped my Lower Decks review, episode 9 review. Only one more Lower Decks review to go, which is bittersweet because after that it's Star Trek Discovery, and I might grow a beard as a result.
You all right, Fat Steven Seagal?
No, he just said Star Trek. Never mind, I'm gonna throw up.
Okay, all right. The Great Culture Casino, where can they find you?
You can find me at my YouTube channel, Culture Casino. That's right. I have a YouTube channel. Some of you are subscribers.
What
and I
happened to his
appreciate
body?
all of you. In fact, I think all of you are there. I think all of you subscribe to me, and I appreciate and love each and every one of you. Unlike Scott, who abuses not only you, but also everybody in his chat.
Where's
That's my whole job.
Make sure you.
That's why people keep coming, Culture.
Keeps talking over him.
Anyway, make sure that you support everybody else on this panel, and most especially Kai and Kai's book, Bats Domino. I mean, Space Crime Domino. This book is very good. My review is coming out. It'll be up on my channel here, hopefully by early next week. Kai's going to link to it on his channel. I will give you the breakdown of everything I think about this book without trying to spoil it too much. It's really hard, but this thing is huge. It's not. It's huge. It's not small.
It's huge.
Clip that.
It's huge and hard.
Let me clip that. Thank you.
It's hard.
I love your culture so much.
Take me off the screen. I quit.
Okay. Where were you and where could they find you? Steven? Is he frozen? Oh,
he's frozen in shirtless time.
there he is.
I don't deserve an outro. I was here for 10 minutes. Go support Kai. I love to see independent creators in the community doing well.
Tripping over cans?
Nah, that was my dog. I love to see independent readers. God, just fuck this shit. Fuck this shit.
I think I peed a little.
What the hell is going on? Well, once again, we had a fun dump here, people. I'm glad everybody showed up. But I think it's time to stick a spork in it because we are done.
You're not using the one I sent you with.
You used the wrong one again.
Yep, that's still the old one.
This is son of a bitch. Hold on.
Boomer Scott.
I just sent it to you. I just sent you the new one.
Just sent it. I don't have it then.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't have it then.
Again. Run that
I
again.
like how difficult it is for you to do your show every time.
It is a reminder I've been here when it was glory hole days, and I've been here when it wasn't. And so, having said that, I want me some glory hole.